Hey guys, Justin here. So a couple of weeks ago, I made a video about why Tesla will eventually reach $2,000 a share. And that was back when Tesla was trading around $1,400 a share. Now I posted that video before Tesla released the news that they were going to do their 5-for-1 stock split, which I think is the primary catalyst for Tesla breaking the $2,000 barrier. But I still think the things I said in my last video on Tesla hold true. So if you want to watch that video, I'll put a card up in the corner and I highly recommend you go and watch it. But guys, what I wanted to discuss in this video is how great companies are built on amazing products and why Tesla's cars are the best cars on the market right now. And that's not my opinion either. I will reveal a survey of real people that confirms this later in the video. So make sure you watch all the way to the end. Now, before I get too far into the video, we need to talk about Tesla's valuation first. If you watch the news or read stock articles, then you would know that Tesla is a very polarizing stock. If we look at the price targets for Tesla, we can see very big differences between analysts. Right now, the median price target is $1,450, which is not too far off of Tesla's current stock price. But if we look at the highest and the lowest price targets, it gets a little ridiculous. The high price target is $2,400, but the lowest price target is only $87. So clearly analysts don't really know how to value this stock, or at least they can't agree on how to value it. One of the reasons Tesla is so hard to value is because they are not a car company. In my opinion, they are actually a technology company. And I talked about this in one of my other videos on Tesla, but right now Tesla stock is being valued more in line with stocks like Apple and Netflix if we compare the revenue to market cap ratios of each stock. If you do want to watch that video, I will put a card up in the corner for you to click on so that you can watch that video. So right away, I would say any analyst giving Tesla a very low price target can be ignored because they are not valuing Tesla stock correctly. So let's discuss 3 catalysts that are propelling Tesla stock higher this week, and then I will reveal the survey about Tesla's cars that blew my mind. The first catalyst would of course be the stock split happening this Friday. And if you have been living under a rock and are unaware of this news, basically the stock will split with each share being broken down into 5 shares. So all this means is that instead of Tesla stock trading at $2,000 a share, it will trade at $400 a share after Friday. Other than the share price changing, nothing else about Tesla's fundamentals will change. So the market cap will not change and the valuation of the stock will not change. But if you have 1 share today, you will have 5 shares on Monday. And while nothing about the fundamentals of the stock will change, usually when companies announce stock splits, it is a bullish sign because it makes the stock cheaper for average investors to buy. Also, average investors tend to think that a $400 stock is a better value than a $2,000 stock. But anyone who has been investing for a while knows that the price of a stock doesn't matter. One of the reasons that I think Tesla is doing the stock split now is because they are anticipating huge investor demand after Battery Day, which is only a month away. Tesla is expected to announce big advancements in battery technology, and this will most likely result in a big increase in demand from retail investors. And so splitting the stock so it is only $400 a share will entice more retail investors to jump in. The battery advancements that Musk has hinted at will be very impressive. Some of those potential advancements include the million-mile battery and batteries with high enough energy densities that would make electric airplanes viable. Also, I am guessing that we can expect to hear some good news in terms of cost reduction of the current batteries Tesla uses, which would greatly increase Tesla's profit margins on their vehicles. So in my opinion, I do think Battery Day will drive a lot of investor interest in Tesla stock. Now, the third catalyst that is driving Tesla stock is the one that I think is the most important, and that is sales growth. In order for a company to grow, they have to increase sales of their products and services. And the faster a company can grow sales, the faster the stock will rise. Also, the higher the profit margin on those products and services, the better. And when it comes to profit margins, Tesla posted a profit margin of 25% on each vehicle they sold. So this is a really good sign, and it shows that Tesla is ready to scale and sell more vehicles. But how fast is Tesla growing exactly? Well, if we look at this chart of quarterly sales numbers, we can see that Tesla's sales are growing exponentially. And this is important because stocks are not valued on today's news, but rather they are valued on future news. Put another way, if you have 2 stocks and one company is slowly dying and the other is rapidly growing, it doesn't matter how big the dying company is because it is dying. It might be that the sales of its products are declining or that they have stagnated. And when this happens, companies are in big trouble. In fact, this is what is currently happening to established automakers. Even though established automakers like Ford and GM sell millions more cars a year than Tesla, it doesn't really matter. Because while Tesla sales are growing exponentially, Ford's and GM sales are stagnating and even starting to drop. But you don't even really need to look at sales numbers to figure this out. If we look at Ford and GM stock, we can see that they both pay very high dividends, and their stock performance over the past years is negative. The high dividends are in part because of the poor stock performance, but it is also a sign that Ford and GM are done growing and that they can't come up with anything better to do with their profits but to pay out dividends. Now, of course, Ford and GM are still reinvesting into their businesses, but the return on invested capital is much lower than for a growing company like Tesla. Now, the really exciting part for Tesla investors is that even though Tesla is already experiencing exponential growth, there are many different catalysts that will most likely accelerate this growth moving forward. Those catalysts concern new markets and new products. For new markets, China is a huge opportunity that some analysts say will add $400 or more to the share price. And in terms of new products, there is the Model Y and the Cybertruck. The Model Y is basically a bigger version of the Model 3, which is important because the Model 3 was the top-selling electric car worldwide last year, outselling the next closest competitor by a 3-to-1 ratio. So we can expect the Model Y to be a big driver of sales growth over the next couple of years. Also, the Tesla Cybertruck will help Tesla attack Ford and GM head-on in the lucrative pickup truck category. So if the Cybertruck can sell well like Tesla hopes it will, then that will give Tesla a huge competitive advantage. Also, Tesla is getting ready to start production on the Tesla Semi, which will be another growth driver for the company. Now, when it comes to Tesla's products, a lot of you watching this video, including myself, have probably never driven a Tesla. So it's hard to understand what makes these cars so special. But the fact remains that Tesla's cars give a better customer experience than a traditional gasoline car. And the reason I can say this without ever having driven a Tesla is because of a survey from Consumer Reports that came out just a few days ago that listed the top 10 most satisfying cars to drive, broken down by age group. The age groups ranged from millennials, who are those born between 1981 and 1996, and goes all the way up to what's known as the silent generation, who are people who are born between the years 1925 and 1945. So the survey results included a very wide spectrum of ages. And with such a wide range of ages, I was assuming that the Tesla cars would be more popular with the younger ages, while the more traditional ICE vehicles would be the most popular with the older generations. But the surprising part was that not only did the Tesla Model 3 rank as the most satisfying car for millennials, but it also ranked as the most satisfying car for all three older generations. So that is millennials, Gen X, baby boomers, and the silent generation all ranked the Tesla Model 3 as the most satisfying car to drive. For me, this is a clear sign that Tesla has a bright future ahead of it. And again, the reason I say this is because great companies are built on amazing products. When I see surveys like this that say Tesla is the favorite car of people aged 24 all the way up to age 95, that is a big deal. And really, I think Tesla's cars are in a lot of ways similar to the iPhone. Or maybe I should say that Tesla's cars will revolutionize the automobile sector in the same way that Apple revolutionized the cell phone market. At the time, cell phones were pretty simple in terms of the things you could do on them, and people mostly used their phones for calling and texting. But now smartphones are basically mini computers. They are very powerful, and you can have thousands of apps that do all sorts of crazy things. But I think the most powerful thing about Tesla's cars is that they are just really fun to drive. They have constant acceleration and basically perform like high-end sports cars, but at a fraction of the cost. So I think that most people, when they get the chance to ride in a Tesla or drive one around, they will have a hard time going back to a traditional ICE car. And this is very similar to smartphone adoption. Back in the day when smartphones were relatively new, a lot of my friends were getting them, and I was kind of wondering what the big deal was. They were big, they were fragile, they had short battery life, and my flip phone was better in regards to all of those things. So I didn't get a smartphone for a while, but when I finally did get one, there was no going back. I finally had internet on my phone, which if you are young enough, you might not even know what it was like to be out somewhere and not be able to just whip out your phone and look something up. But now I can't imagine being out somewhere and not being able to get directions or being able to Google something on the spot. So basically the iPhone was just better than all the other phones on the market. And since it was the first of its kind and it was so much better, sales of iPhones were able to grow exponentially for many years. And that is basically what is going to happen with Tesla's cars. They will continue to grow exponentially, and their brand awareness and brand loyalty will only get better. So to answer the question of why it's okay to buy Tesla at $2,000 a share, it's okay because they have the best product. Add on top of that the brand power Tesla has and how aggressively they are investing back into their products, and it is a no-brainer that 10 years down the road, Tesla will be worth much more than $2,000 a share. So for me, I am buying a lot of Tesla stock in my retirement portfolios because I literally have 30 years before I need that money. So all I have to do is buy today, and 30 years down the road, I can rest assured that I will have a very nice return on my investment. Now, that being said, if you want to wait for a pullback in the stock, I don't think that is a bad idea because like I said earlier, the stock might drop after the stock split on Friday. But this is a type of stock that has such a bright future ahead of it that if it jumps up again to say $3,000, for example, then it might not ever come back down to $2,000 a share again. So if you are someone who is afraid of missing out and wants to dump a large amount of money into Tesla stock right now, I don't think that is a bad idea. But for me, I have just been dollar cost averaging in, and I will continue to do that no matter what the stock price is, because long-term Tesla is a winner. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button. Also, if you are new, please consider subscribing. It is really easy to do and it helps my channel out a lot. So with that, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.